Hi, welcome to the 1 Liter Podcast. You will watch us drinking 1 liters of beer whilst talking about shies. Please like and subscribe. Welcome to the 1 Liter.
Creed. Creed is a great band. I love them.
With arms wide open
Under the sunlight, welcome to this place. I'll drink 1 liter with you.
That's great.
Okay, yeah,
That's
here
a
we
great
go.
Creed voice.
Do you
Now
know what's cool, bro? Like,
what?
I remember I remember when Creed came out, I was like, you're a little kid, so I was like, I didn't care about music too much. I thought it was a cool song. And then as you get older, you start to find out that like Creed's lame. So you're like, yeah, fuck Creed. Or like I hate Nickelback. Like I never got into Nickelback.
So
Look at this graph. But I'll tell you one Nickelback song that goes hard, bro. Like I'll listen to it anytime.
tell me, because I've got a couple as well.
Fuck, bro.
Come on.
Now, I hold on to the wings of an eagle.
Oh, yes.
I forgot the fucking
Wings of an
dude.
eagle. Yeah, I don't know.
Spider-Man soundtrack, bro. Tobey Maguire. Boom. And Creed. So eventually when you're older, right? I just got to finish this story. When you get older, you're like, hey, I'm going to listen to old songs I listen to, get a bit of nostalgia. You stumble across fucking With Arms Wide Open. You're like, every cell in my body's telling me this is fucking shit, bro. Like I shouldn't be into this. And then you hear it. Doom, 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 squid, dun. Well, I just heard. And then like that single tear rolls down your eye.
Well, I just heard.
The fucking news today. Dude, so anyway, Creed. But anyway, I used to listen to... Yeah, God, what is that?
No. Yeah,
I used to
the
fucking...
nostalgia Creed.
I remember when I listened to that Nostalgia Creed, it was around the time that... I think I was in like year 12. My parents both moved back to Sydney, leaving me with my two older brothers. They're like, here's the fucking house. We're going back to Sydney. You're old enough to take care of yourselves. Fuck off.
Jesus.
I'm still in high school. Where you guys going? I gotta make my own fucking dinner.
I need a mom and dad.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty fucking much.
But
But anyways, my old man used to brew fucking beer.
Oh,
And, like, I
yeah,
remember
you were going to tell me this just before.
He left it. He left like 2 drums of beer and all the hops and the ingredients. So like, and he had all these tallies that he made up. And so like, I remember.
Don't tell me you were trying to make your own beer.
No, fuck, that would have been a way better story, bro. So we got the hops measurement down pat. We needed more sulfite. Or
It
whatever.
would be shit.
Oh, it would taste like fucking battery acid, no doubt. But I remember in the afternoons, like, because obviously I was like a dude without parents, so my mates always felt obliged to like come around and they could like watch my fucking. We always had like Foxtel and shit, so they'd be like, no holds bar, we can do whatever we want. And my friend's like fucking gangster pad, you know, so like.
I'll see you with a cool kid.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Oh, not really. Like I never told anyone about it because I didn't. Whenever I went to parties, I trashed people's houses, dude.
Oh, God.
We stole shit. Like we were bad. So like,
So
not
you
all the
don't
time.
get invited to parties.
Oh, I didn't get invited to a lot of my school's parties because I was very antisocial. Like you knew me at high school, like I was a very loud dude, but I was like, I didn't try to mingle with the cool kids.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
No, I see that.
fuck, you guys are fucking like. I was acquainted with them. I would communicate with them, but I wasn't like wanting to fucking, you know, my going out was like going to shows on the weekends and then going back from a show and seeing Philip Gitt try his first bong, you know, that was them. So we'd always go to shows and then we'd always find out about a party afterwards and we'd go to that. So like never rearranged school parties, you know?
That is the first and only time. Well, of course, first and only time. The first and only time. It was the only time I fully greened out from one bong because you had the makeshift bong that you brought to this party and I was already blind drunk.
Mm-hmm.
And I just went for it.
Yeah.
And I remember just rolling around on the deck, just spewing my guts up. That was a good time.
We used to have this mate at school. His name was Juan. You know Juan.
Yeah.
He's like this tiny, like South American dude, but he's like
Not so
fucking
tiny
Colombian, I think,
anymore.
but he's like, because he's a shorter dude, he's like massive now. His shoulders are like this big. He's a strong dude. Does a podcast as well, apparently.
Yeah, I will give him. It's not just because he's a shorter dude.
Oh, he goes hard.
Lifts hard.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's a strong
I see
guy.
stories. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I just want to say, oh, sorry, yeah, tell wine story. I'm just cutting you off in the wine story.
So it's interesting. When I was at school, I kind of became known as that dude who listened to heavy music after a while. Like, I guess people kind of knew I was like a metalhead or something.
Mm.
And I didn't make it not obvious. Like, I was always like, yo, yeah. Like, just like I'd be like
You
headbanging
say
with this,
normal things, you're like,
yeah, I need a pen. You know, like, yeah. So anyways, I remember like people would come up to random dudes would come up to me and be like, hey man, I'm into metal too. Like, and they're always like nerdy dudes who like needed something to like help them cope with life. So they'd listen to angry music and they'd feel stronger. Like,
yeah.
I never got that, dude. I listened to metal because I was just like, I was so like ADHD energetic and the music was just like, yeah, I love it. You know, I never liked metal because it made me like, I'm part of a group and you guys wouldn't understand it. We wear paint on our face, you know?
You were just about the blast beats.
Totally. Yeah. Energetic, screaming on the top of my lungs, running up and down each side of the stage. Crazy energy. Like,
Apparently.
Yeah.
No, go. People were coming up to you.
Long story short, yeah.
I keep trying to butt in with things that come to my head, but
no,
yeah,
all
go,
good, dude. It's something we need to consider, eh?
Yeah.
Because these people probably aren't as lit as us, so they're probably like, I can't keep up with these fucking psychos.
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, that's fucking good beer.
So, yes, beer.
Yeah.
So, my sister's boyfriend, he brews his own beer. He's got like a little setup at home.
Mm-hmm.
And he like got an old fridge and like turned it right up so that it's like cool but not cold. So perfect for the what is this called?
Fermentation.
Fermentation.
Hardware
of the beer.
stores. That's where you get it from. Hardware stores. That's where you get your mixes, your drums, your hops, your fucking measuring.
Yeah, I think it was a
things.
kit that he bought from somewhere. But also, my dad used to make custom ones at this like DIY brewery. So we go to the brewery and you would choose the amounts of each ingredient and then make your own basically. And we would bottle it and they had
putting the cap on.
To put the caps on, they had a little machine that you pull down.
Yeah. That was a fucking bicep workout.
I did it crookedly.
Yeah.
Gotta do it again. Well, we were really young, so it was fun to do that.
Was your dad like, pathetic? These are my offspring.
No, he's not a stoic German. But wait,
Your dad's like, fuck man! Like,
I had another thing about that I wanted to delve into more about Creed. Oh no, Nickelback. Nickelback. So why does everyone hate Nickelback? Is it the music or is it their personalities?
I think for me personally, I started to think some of their songs are really cheesy, and there's only so much country influenced stuff. Like, I don't think country's bad. Like, everyone's like, fuck country.
Nah,
some country
sick.
songs are like, you know, like,
Really
because
cool.
it's all in my head. I think about it over and over again. That Nelly song.
Yeah, really.
You remember that one? I can't even.
I don't know the one you're singing, but
I'll maybe we'll find it later if I remember. If I have a single brain cell that's working. But I saw a couple of videos. I saw one video, right, where like the vocalist of Nickelback and the whole band were on stage and like people were booing him.
he's a dickhead, right?
Oh, I don't know that, but he's like, fuck y'all. He's like, something like that. He's like, I thought you guys came here to hear some rock and roll. Fuck y'all. Some good music. And
I think
left
he
the
had a
stage.
bit of attitude.
I think, yeah. So he left the stage because like people were booing him. Like, I mean, you gotta have some thick skin if you're gonna be a musician who's playing this.
Yeah.
If you're playing country in the fucking on.
But it's like rock country, right? And like the thing is, that's why I heard everyone hates them because of their personalities, but the songs are really cheesy, but there's some songs that really smack too, like the classics, you know?
Go for it. Try to think of them.
You remind me of when
I really am.
I don't know, maybe it's just because I played drums and they're easy to groove to.
Yeah.
Probably.
Well, I mean, whatever way you find your way into enjoying that song, like, do you know when
Whatever way you can find to even slightly enjoy a Nickelback song, fucking go for it.
Well, that's the seed that's sown. Like, do you know when you remember back in the day, a friend would come up to you and be like, "Oh, bro, check out the song. I think you'll like it." And you'll listen to it once, and you'll be like, "You'll always say the same thing. Oh yeah, nah, it's all right. I think I have to listen to it a couple more times, and I'll enjoy it."
Yeah.
And then like 3 days later, you're like, "Bros, Mr. White, you know, you're getting into it.
I like this song. That's what you'll be like after a couple of days.
Kaiser.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So Yeah. Have you heard their version of Saturday?
Saturday.
Like the Elton John. Saturday. That's got a cool guitar riff. Like, I'll
Yeah.
give them that. Their guitars sound decent because they're just like majorly compressed and just like
Yeah.
that real juicy classic. I'm an electric guitar, you know?
Yeah. I think maybe their version would be cool, but I never got into Elton
It's
John.
pretty cool.
And that Taron,
Oh.
do you know that Taron Egerton film? Edgerton? You know how he played Elton John? He won I think he won an Oscar for Best Upcoming Actor or something like that. But the only Elton John song I've ever been able to, like, I really just do not enjoy the music.
Yeah.
Making potions in a traveling shoe. It just doesn't do anything for
No,
me.
so look,
But
most
the,
of it doesn't do shit for me either. It's
Yeah.
just, it's only like,
Coming from
and
a
it seems to me you lived your life like a candle in the
yeah,
wind.
that song depresses me, bro.
Oh, it's so good
But,
though.
dude,
It's piano.
I'm still standing. That's good. See, it's like the thing. I got energy. It's like
You like that one?
It's
like
the only
that
one
one?
that
Yeah,
I only like that chorus. Stand. The rest
Yeah.
of the song can blow ass. You know.
I see that. I see that. Hey, I had a note.
You're like, hey,
I was
forgets
gonna
about
drink my
drinking.
beer, and now I didn't.
I'm still standing. Rod,
Hey,
well, I just heard the news today.
all right, now that is clipping. Now I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to fucking edit the
Oh, my
clipping
bad.
and turn down the volume.
Saves my life.
Yeah, there we go.
Life
That's what we want.
is gonna change.
Screaming away from the microphone. He's doing it.
All your limbs will be removed.
thy art is murder, baby.
That is murder.
Already?
Wait, we got to talk about
Give me a movie intro.
What?
Fake movie intro, real quick.
fake movie intro.
Yeah, fake, just like an action one, like Death Note, or like
You want the title?
yes, like blazing saber or
Yeah, there
something.
you go. Blazing Saber.
All
Go
right.
for it.
This summer, from the people who brought you, comes
So like,
From the people that brought you.
I couldn't think of anything. Yeah, you know they're always like
laser fuck.
Who does that? What's the comedian that does that?
Pablo Francisco,
Francisco, yeah.
This summer, blazing saber. This summer.
I can't even finish it without.
from the people who brought you.
Blazing.
From the people that brought you. No.
You know, it's gonna fuck you up. For the people who brought you, I'm still standing.
God. All right.
I've got abdominal muscles coming out of the fucking.
Woo!
I'm still standing. By Elton John.
Speaking of abdominal
Yes.
abdominal
Who?
muscles.
Who in this room completed the mighty push-up challenge? 'Twasn't I.
It was me. Cheers.
Cheers.
The beer. Finished the push-ups today, but what I wanted to say was
Congratulations, my friend.
thank you. 3,139.
In 25 days, was it?
24 days. Today's
Oh.
the 24th day. So it started on the 1st. But that's not what I want to talk about. I had a massage this afternoon because I was like, oh, well, finish all the push-ups, have a nice massage and needling. And he put the needles, like, because I told him about the other stuff. I've been going to chiropractor and my ribs and yada, yada, and my hips. I had a scan done. One of my legs is slightly shorter. My right leg's slightly shorter. And he's like, oh, yeah. And he checked it out. He's like, all right, I'm going to be needling, like, your hip, like, upper glute and hip. And, oh, that feels weird. Like, as he was putting them in, you could feel him going deep, and it doesn't really sting at all.
It's
like
niggling.
you feel that slight little bit, but it's a weird feeling because it's like a deep feeling, like it's in your muscle tissue.
Yeah, like it's almost hitting a nerve, but it's not
Yeah.
hitting the nerve so much that it's excruciating. It's like it almost goes numb, like you've had like a dead leg. Yeah.
But the thing is, as you put them in, it was almost like, and this happens every time, I feel like, it was like a release of like energy, and it like all of a sudden my palms were like super sweaty, and I was like drying them on the. I was like, oh, dude, you're hitting something there.
Yeah.
But we got to talk about the float tank,
Hell yeah.
because that was fucking sick too.
Sydney Float Centre, I believe it was called,
Yes.
in Darlinghurst.
Yeah.
So Phil's done it before. He did it with his partner. It's like a double float. But my experience, so you get there at this float center. The dude behind the counter looked like a young Jerry Seinfeld. Really nice guy. He was like, "What's the deal with meditations?" You know? No,
Not at all. He was very humble and
he was
quiet.
super cool. Yeah, and he was like, gave us a bit of a spiel. So we went in there, and it's just like a nice little quiet room. The whole place is just dead silent. And they've got like a lovely waiting room with like water and chocolates and a nice long L-shaped chair, white chair, like for relaxation
yeah.
afterwards. Diffusers, burning, delicious smells. He directs you down a hallway, and there's probably about 6 rooms, maybe more. I didn't really get to go that far. He takes you into a room, this beautiful pod, and it's open, and they've got lights kind of like these ones flashing from different colors. Very no music
Colorful
playing.
lights. Oh no, there was music. There was that.
Oh, that's right. The music was coming
meditation.
from the pod.
Yeah.
It was like, it's like a sound of nature, like birds chirping or like water running from a waterfall, and then a harp.
And like the tonal stuff. It was like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I heard
Except not
some
as creepy as what I just. Yeah. some-
whale sounds.
in the water.
Yeah.
But do you know what that makes me think of? Have you ever seen the movie Cocoon, where the old people go into and it like gives them youth
I
into like
remember
the
it.
alien cocoons?
I know
in
the movie, but
pool?
I just can't remember what happened.
That's all I think of. I'm like, oh yeah, you're in a cocoon because
Yeah.
it looks like it's like a pod. If you haven't seen it before, it's like a pod with this big opening lid. Looks like a big whale mouth or something, and you like go into
It's a
it.
clam, dude. It's like a clam with
Yeah, it's
with
like
a
a-
fucking pearl in it.
Clamshell, exactly, and
Yeah.
you're the oyster.
Yeah, we're
Just
the
slipping in.
pearl, dude. We're the fucking.
Oh, with the pearl.
You go in there. There's a shower. You take your clothes off. You shower. Then you hop in. Now I
Butt
thought
naked.
I thought, oh, maybe I'll wear like swim trunks or something, like something like I'd exercise in, whatever. And Phil's like, no, I went butt naked. And you know what? I'm glad I did. Do you know what it felt like when you're in the pod? So you sit in the pod, and there's a button on the side that turns the lights off, and there's a button on the right for emergency, but you're only a pussy if you press that. But the dude did instruct us that people only press it as an accident, because you do find you bump sides and you just keep going.
Yeah.
I
It was
felt you were
great.
doing that too? Yeah.
You're bouncing off the walls. It's really weird though, because as soon as you turn the lights off, it goes pitch black. and so when you're floating,
Pitch black.
your brain is imagining where you're traveling in the pod, and you're like, I should be hitting the wall now, but I'm not. Like you're
And
trying to
then you hit it.
calculate
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
and you're
yeah,
like, oh, there
totally.
it is.
Yeah, yeah.
And then even the slightest little touch of the wall, and then you don't want to push off because you'll travel too fast, but you do the tiniest movement with your hand, and then you float to the other side, and you're like,
Yeah.
all right, here's my journey to
Yeah.
the other side of the pod.
And you almost prepare. You think it's gonna like abrupt bump, but it's really soft. It's like
Yeah. And I like this one better because the first one I did was like in an open pool, and the whole room was meant to be the temperature controlled environment. But
is
it got
the
a bit-
room pitch black?
yeah, the room goes pitch black, but it just got a bit chilly.
Yeah.
Probably too large of a space to keep warm.
So what you do is, and I'll just say for those who are probably wondering, this is the top question in their head. You have control over how you shut the pod. It doesn't close on you and only opens at a certain point. You get to open it whenever you want. And the water, it's about 30 something degrees, so it's very
It matches
warm.
your body temperature.
Yeah, it's
That's
not.
what it's meant to do.
It's not like humid in there. It's nice. And the water, because it's full of like Epsom salts and like that magnesium, it's super slimy and salty, but it's not discomforting. And I put
No.
it, I consider it like, do you know when Neo pulls himself out of the Matrix and he's in that like,
Oh yeah.
he's in that almost, what's it called?
Body generating
Pod, what's
yeah.
it called? Like an encapsulated, like a womb, like a fuck, I can't think of the word. But anyways, like gestation.
That's what
pod.
it's like, though.
He's like, you're gestating. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you go in there, they've got a spray bottle for you full of clear water.
Yes,
Because-
because
yeah.
it stings.
Tell them.
So he didn't tell us this, but I've seen it on the website, and they told us at the other place. But it's 400 kilos of magnesium
Salt.
sulfate, Epsom salt. 400 kilos in each pod. So like that's why you float as well, because
Yeah.
it's basically dense. It's very dense water, so you float, but it's really slimy.
Yeah, and that was the great thing. When you get in it, you get earplugs, you push them in as high as you can because you don't want that fucking water in you. And here's another thing, disclaimer. If you're going to do one of these pods, don't drink anything for an hour before. I don't care how fucking dehydrated you are. Have a little, but don't drink too much water because I went to the gym beforehand and then I literally went home, had a shower, and then Phil picked me up. Oh, sorry, no, I met you there.
Yeah, and you drank a ton of water because
I drank
you've just
about
been to
2
the gym.
liters of water at the gym,
God,
and I fucking I think the last 15 minutes of it, I was like,
agony.
I need to get out and piss. But here's the thing. Here's something I was conscious of. When you open it, you can kind of hear that.
Yeah.
You can kind of hear it.
Yeah.
And I could hear other people I got to a point where I was so zen that I could hear other people in the
you
other
can
rooms
hear every
coughing,
sound,
moving.
Every sound.
Someone even bumping the side of their tank behind me in like a room like I don't know, like almost 3 or 4 meters away. In like room, and I'm in a thick pod and I could still hear him. So it's almost like you're like super hypersensitive. And
Your senses just go.
I didn't want to be that dude who everyone could hear me opening it and then like taking a piss.
Yeah,
like
going
so I was
to
like
the toilet.
the last 15 minutes I was like
Yeah,
and I even
it's not
considered like I was
relaxing
like
anymore.
yeah, I was
It's
like
so relaxing.
I thought to myself because I've never been a piss in the pool kind of guy. I've never
Nah.
done it, but I thought to myself like, could I piss in this thing? And I was like, no.
It gets filtered afterwards.
Yeah, have you done it?
No.
Yeah,
Pissed on it. No
I've
way.
never-
It's way too small of a bathtub.
Yeah.
You know what I want to do though?
Mm.
Speaking of hearing noises, have you heard of those silent rooms? That like the world's quietest room, but it doesn't have to be the world's quietest.
No.
Really? Oh, like 0 decibel rooms. So you go into these rooms.
So it's just all you can hear is just your heart beating in your fucking chest.
Oh
and
yeah,
you're-
like
you're
crazy,
swallowing
and they reckon
saliva.
people like go crazy staying there. So people have tested it on YouTube. But you go into this room and you're basically suspended, like you're on this net with like platforms that you walk on, and there's a chair in the middle on a suspended net, because underneath you is all just acoustic sound deadening, like big triangles of foam all around you, and they've got this big door that they then shut.
Where do they have these?
I don't know. We'd have to look it up.
Dude.
I think the world's quietest is somewhere in Europe, but
Well, okay.
surely there'd be like 0 decibel rooms, because
Yeah.
that would be wild.
Yeah.
Being just deprived of every single noise around you. Oh, he's beaten me for once.
Dude, fuck you. I've beaten you plenty of times, you scallywag.
He never beats me. I'm a German.
Bullshit. Oh, I am half-blood prince. I'll tell you about a funny tale.
Oh, God.
When I went to San Francisco, we went to Alcatraz, and they had isolation chambers, which is literally like probably like from the wall.
Oh, in the jail, yeah.
from the
of
wall here
course,
to your
yeah.
head. From the wall here to your head, and from that wall to that wall. That's how big it was. And so they had 2 double doors. One of the doors was like this thick, like fucking crazy.
Just to
So-
keep people
Yeah.
away from other people.
And you open that door, and then you open another door, and then they close that door, and then they close another one. It's pitch black,
No.
and it's completely silent, and there's nothing in there. There's no cot. There's no toilet.
Just concrete floor.
Concrete floor, yeah. And it's just like this. But you know that claustrophobia
Absolute
and your mind
silence,
plays
yeah.
and it's pitch black. And so that was solitary confinement. And the guy was like, "Who wants to get inside?" Like myself, the 2 people I were with, and like maybe like 5 other people got in, and we sat in there, and then we're like, "Oh, this is good. This is cool."
Until they close the door.
And then they closed the door, and everyone's like, and then 2 minutes passed, 3 minutes passed. By the 5-minute mark, it was like silent. Nobody was happy anymore. No, people weren't claustrophobic and freaking, but you could just feel the energy
And
in the
you're
room.
still-
People were
and
like,
you're-
fuck this,
And you're even together. So imagine
Yeah.
just being locked in there
by
alone.
yourself. Exactly.
Only your thoughts.
Pure concrete. And then the guy lets us out, and it was like, we'd only been there for 5 minutes, and I was like, sunlight, I can't see, it's bright. And like, it was almost like, like just nothingness to that. And the guy said, if you fucked up, you get thrown in there for 2 weeks, and they wouldn't open the door. Like, this is the thing.
Do they
couldn't-
slide food into you?
They'd have to, because 2 weeks, you can't survive without food for 2
Yeah.
weeks. But the thing that fucked me up was there was no toilet, and there was no evidence of a toilet that they'd like. Oh, people.
No.
Yeah,
So
they just
I've heard stories like
It was just no toilet, no concreted over hole.
Nah.
Nothing. So they must have slid a thing and then shit,
nah,
motherfucker.
not even.
They just shat in the corner.
You shit in the corner.
That's
and then,
inhumane, dude.
No, but then they will maybe I don't know if it's during mealtime or something, but they take you out for like 5 minutes and they just hose it down and you're back in. So it's probably like wet concrete.
Oh,
It's bad, man.
that's just physical torture, hey.
Solitary confinement.
if you had to go to Alcatraz, you would have been a bad motherfucker though. Like Al Capone went there, bro.
Yeah. Like solitary confinement is like one of the worst things you can do to a human being. Like we're so needy of human connection. Not needy, but we require human connection for happiness even.
Mm-hmm.
So like solitary confinement is hardcore punishment.
I would hate if I got to solitary confinement. They were like, "You're in there for a month." You know,
Oh.
you fucking stab. So I'd be like, "All right, but give me some books," and they gave me one book.
No, imagine pitch
One-
black.
dude.
No book.
Oh no, not solitary confinement, just regular solitary confinement. Prisons these
regular
days.
jail, yeah.
Yeah, they put you in the lower levels.
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
just like by yourself in a
Yeah.
room and like a little fucking gap. But dude, not one book. I'd polish off one book in like 4 days.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'd be
quick
like,
reader.
no, not that, but I'd be so fucking bored. I would.
Yeah.
Like
you'd
with books?
Smash through it.
I read maybe a chapter or 2 chapters a night
Mm.
of like a 300 or 400 page book.
Yeah, yeah.
I have it done within a couple of days. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So, maybe not a couple of days. Most of the time, it's like, some chapters will only go for 4 or 5 pages.
Yeah.
So, but whatever. But dude, I'd be like, give me at least 10 books for a month, and give me fucking War and Peace. Give me something.
See,
thick.
yeah. See, I am. I'm a firm believer in rehabilitation of maybe not if they're really bad dudes and they're effed in the head, but I'd much rather because
Positive reinforcement.
Yeah,
not
because
just
what's the
pain.
jail doing for the people? Like, oh, your sentence is up, back on the streets after that lovely experience you just had.
Yeah.
It's just going to make people more angry.
You're just a confused animal, really.
Yep.
If you look at it, at the end of the day, we're just animals that have been trapped in a cage for so long.
And
then we
imagine a 20-year sentence. 20 years ago, we didn't have mobile phones.
yeah, yeah,
Imagine coming out and everything's different.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Everything is fucking different.
yeah. You'd be
Everyone walks different because they're all looking at their phone while they're walking and shit. So
Yeah.
you'd be like,
I'm getting Amazon stuff. I'm getting some stuff tonight from
Yeah.
Amazon. You're like,
What the
Amazon, like, you're getting
the
like,
river?
yeah, you're getting like fucking piss juice or something. Like, what? You're getting coconuts? What the fuck? Oh, they probably wouldn't have coconuts in the Amazon.
Are you claustrophobic?
No, I mean, I've never been in a situation where I've been claustrophobic, but I'm sure if I was one of those fucking people who like crawl into those tiny holes or like, oh yeah, those
Cave diving
cave
as well?
diving, fuck that. No. Do you know what though?
Fuck that.
That scene at the end of Shawshank Redemption where he's climbing through that shit pipe.
Yeah.
I would probably be like, there'd be a couple of times while I'm crawling where I'd be like, fuck, and then I'd be like, no, look, I have no choice. I have to keep going. Fucking push
You would
it,
have
cunt.
panic attacks, bro. You'd be like,
Totally.
am I going to get out of this shit?
Am I going the wrong way?
Wait, yeah. Am I going the wrong way? A. B. If I was going the right way, what if I get to the end and there's a fucking metal grid?
Great or something. Yeah.
What?
You wouldn't be able to kick your way out. You'd have to
You'd
punch
have to back up
Yeah. Oh,
just to
no,
get
no, no.
fresh air.
No.
Nah, that would start
You'd
making you
scream,
panic.
yeah.
That would
And-
make you
and-
panic.
The fumes of that fecal matter, dude. No.
Nah.
When he
no,
gets
thank
out,
you.
like people say Shawshank Redemption's like the greatest film script, greatest film in the world. Like, I got to admit, like, I fucking didn't really care for the film. You know what?
It's a good film.
Yeah, it is a
but
great film, great written, but perfectly written. But
I
I'll
wouldn't
tell you,
praise it as the best.
do you know what I think it is? Let's just set it straight here. I think Morgan Freeman's a brilliant actor. I love his work, but his voice is very depressing.
Depressing.
Andy
loves the Morgan
Dufresne.
Freeman voice.
Andy Dufresne found himself crawling through a pipe of shit. He covered up the wall with a poster. That night, nobody knew that Andy Dufresne was gonna find his way out. At some point in your life, you're gonna die. You could get hit by a car or be poisoned at any moment.
Yeah, but see,
This is fucking life. You're
not
fucked.
doing.
I
You're doing how he speaks, but you're not doing like the Morgan Freeman, like the nasally.
Like, I can settle anything, all right? I thought that was a pretty decent Morgan Freeman. But anyways, do you know what Morgan... I associate Morgan Freeman's voice with, like, 60 Minutes on a Sunday night. I'm a kid, right?
Yeah.
I'm a kid. tonight on 60 Minutes, we'll show you 5 ways of how you're going to die soon. We'll show you 5 ways of how, the property market is fucked and your children are fucked. And it'd always be Sunday night before I have to go to school. And I don't want to go to school. I had a great weekend as a kid. It's always boring 60 Minutes, fucking steamed vegetables that have no flavor to them. Morgan fucking Freeman's voice, just depressing. I hate it. And MASH. Just depressing, fucking horrible.
I feel sorry for you, man, because
I hate MASH, dude.
we watched Rove live on a Sunday night.
Rove was, dude.
It was pretty good.
What happened to fucking Rove?
He just disappeared, and then he tried to make a comeback, and it just
Didn't work.
We tried to watch it, and we were like, eh.
Rove I would have liked to watch.
I like
my
the
family
show.
didn't watch Rove. I would have liked to watch Rove because he's like upbeat and shit. But like, what happened?
Say hello
So
to your mother for me.
his mother passed away. So his wife passed away, and then he got a new woman.
Yeah.
Like 3 months later or something fucking ridiculous, maybe a year later.
Mm.
And then he just disappeared.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's made enough money and he just wants to chill.
Yeah, I know he was in America at one point. So
I mean, that's what we watched. But claustrophobia, though.
yeah,
I want to go to that because
I went elsewhere.
imagine doing like SEALs buds. So there's this guy Hell
Navy
Week.
SEAls? Oh yeah, Hell Week.
Hell
yeah,
Week. So
Yeah. In the fucking water, sitting there in the cold water,
and they
like,
put you like I read this book, Can't Hurt Me. I can't remember the guy's name. He's a crazy. Dave Goggins.
Dave Goggins, dude.
Yeah.
Keep fucking going.
Ultra
I got
marathon runner.
shin. My shins were broken, but I finished the competition.
Yeah. So
Dude,
he
did Hell Week 3 times. Fucking 3 times. Cunt.
So I thought, oh my god, that must be the only human being to do Hell Week 3 times.
No.
The most unsuspecting guy has done Hell Week 3 times. Dan Bilzerian.
Dan did it.
Dan
He-
Bilzerian.
He looks like a Navy SEAL.
the
though.
poker
Yeah.
billionaire.
The pussy slaughterer. Yeah.
He has done Hell Week 3 times, and just basically out of like his own will. Like it was like he talks about it like it was nothing. I don't know if it probably fucked him up, but he was like, yeah, I just wanted to be a SEAL, and they said, and on one of them they said like, no, we can't count this for some reason, or for some reason he got disqualified, and he's like, I'll just do it again. And they were like, what? And he did it again back to back.
How long does Hell Week week? Sorry, I'm an idiot.
Yeah. How long
That was
is
the
Hell
dumbest
Week?
question. Yeah. But like, yeah, true.
Reason I bring it up.
Yeah.
Dave Goggins talks about being put in. Was it Dave Goggins? I think it was Dave. They put you in like this miniature coffin thing box, like claustrophobic. You're literally in like the fetal position, and they close this wooden door on you, and you're not gonna get out. Like it's to
Just
condition
gotta
you.
control your breathing. Yeah.
Yeah, but
That's the only way to do it. Is just,
I want to get into
concentrate.
breathing because I'm listening to a
Totally.
breathing book as well.
dude. Another thing they do. Yeah. What were you gonna say?
Apparently, he got in this thing and he had a bee stuck in it with him, and he still, like, he was trying to get out, and they didn't let
He
him
ate
out.
that fucking bee, bro. He's
Yeah.
like,
Nom, 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 nom.
fucking- yeah.
But like,
Dude,
imagine
don't,
that.
Don't they do a thing? I'm pretty sure this might be the SEALs, but they do a thing where you gotta, or maybe it's just regular Marines, but you go underwater and then like, I think it's regular Marines, but you go to like an aquatic center and like the instructors throw the Marines in the water in training, and like they gotta like go down to the bottom and like hold their breath for a certain amount of time. And there's footage on YouTube. A lot of them like end up passing out of the water, and they pull them out and resuscitate them. And like, how you doing, son? You're right.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
Like, you seen that shit? It's
Yeah,
crazy.
he's got a.
Is that SEALs or is that just
Yeah, that's
regular
SEALs,
Marines?
and I think it might be in Hell Week as well, because they make you. They're in a pool, like a cold pool, and they make you dive under, and they make you undo knots.
That's right,
They
yeah.
hand you knots.
Yeah.
And Dave Goggins talks about how he was basically passing out, and he just kicked up to the top and only just made it.
Yeah.
But
Fuck
people
that.
die in that shit. Like
Really? They've had
on his
people
second
die?
time, it got cut off after day 4 because a guy died of pneumonia in the pool.
Yeah.
So then he could see, and they knew he had pneumonia, double pneumonia apparently. And
He's probably in the fucking beach that night, fucking
So-
sitting in the water.
well, they were on the side of the pool, and they knew he had it because
Was he just like,
he was shivering and stuff, but his body was like emitting heat. Like Dave Goggins said, I was like a few meters away, and I could feel the guy's heat. And then as they were swimming in this line, he just suddenly just dropped to the bottom of the pool, and they pulled him out, and he was gone.
I mean, props to that guy. Like, rest in peace. But like that dedication, what a fucking soldier, bro.
I hate that though.
Yeah.
Sure, like you can
They
praise
should
him
have
for it,
sat there and been like, "No, we're gonna take you out, mate."
but praise him for it. But what the fuck are you doing it for? Like to
Yeah.
prove yourself to be
Yeah, yeah.
sure the SEALs. Yeah, you're gonna achieve some stuff. You're gonna maybe do some good for the world. Sorry, I just adjusted my
Kill
mic. That
some
was
fucking,
loud.
kill some like top tier people. Yeah.
But what are you doing it for?
Yeah.
I hate the glorification of military, to be honest, like in a modern age. I get it, like bad things happen. There's still bad countries out there that want to invade other countries and you got to defend and stuff, but I don't understand war, man. Just in a modern day, like you just be like, but there's so much money, and I get it, there's so much money involved, so much background shit we will never understand, and greed and
Totally.
power and control.
Yeah.
So I just
When I think about the blokes who fought in World War II, like a lot of those guys, you know, you'll see interviews of them. They're like old blokes, and they'll cry when they talk about battles. But they went home, worked a fucking job, found a wife, had like 1 million kids and 1 million grandkids, and like some of these blokes lived to be like 107, something crazy.
yeah,
And then you see,
the ones that got over stuff.
yeah, and then you see kids. I mean, this is the thing. It probably wasn't as well documented, so my comparison is probably way off. But like, you see blokes these days who come back from Afghanistan and these other wars, and they're like suicide or self-help, or like extremely depressed because, you know, they talk about killing other people. Like, you know, like they were on a raid and they chucked a grenade through a fucking house and then opened it up and a whole family was roasting, you know, like, or they'll pop two insurgents, and then the next day they're like, you know, they talk about how they threw up for 2 weeks because, you know, like obviously blokes in World War II didn't talk about it, and that's why they say that's the greatest generation, because those guys were just hard fucking core. But like,
Either not talk about it, or we just didn't document their suffering afterwards.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Because there is some evidence. This is the book I'm reading that I wanted to bring up. The book about breathing. So like Wim Hof's mentioned in it and stuff, because he sort of commercialized the breathing techniques, like
And the cold baths.
yeah.
Taylor, what's up, dog?
I really want to do that.
My friend Taylor does it.
I was going to bring that up after the float tank.
Yeah, this dude actually.
We should do an ice bath.
Yeah. Oh fuck yeah, dude. My friend Taylor, he's got this nice little bit of property, and he actually he does it every now and then. Like I see it, it's quite frequent. He fills up a tub full of ice, hops in, and he like tags women it. Taylor, if you ever hear this, dog, what's good?
Yeah,
Props, bro. And you see
hit
him,
us
he's
up.
like,
Yeah.
when you see it, you're like, oh fuck, like, oh, I could probably do that. But when you see it, like, Taylor's a big dude, like he'd be able to cop it, and he was like, oh, like so.
Yeah, man, it is hardcore. I can't imagine. I've done like a little competition with someone at a party, just holding my hands in the esky ice. Who could hold their hands in it longest?
Stings, dude.
The worst part was taking them out
Yeah,
when they
that-
thawed out. Oh, that was the worst
cold
pain in my
night too.
hands.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yuck!
Yeah, dude.
But we should do an ice bath.
Klieg.
But the reason I mentioned you and that war,
Yeah.
but I reckon it's because we didn't have it documented, and that book mentions it about like survivors of the war and PTSD and stuff, and how a lot of them, I don't know how many of them, but a lot of them would like research or get into or find the right people that would guide them through breathing properly and to calm down your PTSD, and
They had
how much
breathing
stuff.
techniques back then as well.
Yeah,
That's
how much
great.
stuff you can heal just with breathing correctly.
Wim explains it, dude. Yeah.
It's wild. But even Wim, like, I only watch like the YouTube commercial stuff. I never signed up for his paid stuff, which I'm
Me
kind of
neither.
tempted to do, because this guy explains like how from our ancestors, like even 300-400 years ago, before we started doing all this processed, commercialized food and everything soft, and and you can look at it in evolution, like when we were more like apes, our jaws were huge. And this is what I wanted to bring up, because in our first podcast, we mentioned how President Chin, if you have the most chiseled jaw, it's literally the thing.
Giga
because
Chad.
because we're getting more and more slack-jawed because of the soft food we're eating. We're not chewing anything. And it's affecting our ability to breathe. So it's the reason is like our head had to make more room for our brain. And that's why our heads became more upright and our mouths just keep getting smaller and smaller, and it's causing all sorts of issues. And
Fuck that, dude.
Even
I
crooked teeth
Yeah.
is a thing because our mouths are too small. It wasn't a thing
So it's
back in
compressing.
the day.
Wow. I like, for me, like most people, and like I'm saying like 99.9% of the human population, I'm assuming, chew gum and they've chewed it for a while and they're like, I don't need this anymore. It's flavorless, and they spit it out. Dude, if I'm working at work, for instance, I'll put a piece of gum in my mouth. I'll chew a piece of gum for 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah,
I
no
would
flavor, but just
no flavor, but it's just like that repetition. It's just like that nice, almost like,
it's really
and it's like almost powdery at that point. You almost got pasties around the side of
Yeah.
your lips, and it's just like you almost get, you start to get a headache and
Yeah.
nauseous from like this thing.
strengthening that jaw.
Yeah,
but
but
it's
dude,
one of
like,
the best things.
But the next day, my jaw's like sharp as a fucking razor blade. Like, cling! Yeah, I love it, dude. Chew, eat raw carrots, apples, chew that fucking meat, chew it, and
feels to chew 5 gum.
how it feels to chew 5 gum.
How it feels to chew 5. How it feels to what was it?
How it feels to 5 chew gum. 5 gum chew. How it feels to 5 gum chew.
But
There you go.
so chewing gum, the thing I wanted to say though, breathing, it's all about nose breathing. So like monks and stuff, they basically say you should never inhale
Through your
your
mouth.
mouth.
I never do it, dude.
Really?
Yeah, I never breathe through my mouth. When I have a blocked nose for like the flu, and I have to breathe through my
Messes
mouth,
you up.
I get teary eyes. I can't sleep. I toss and turn. I need my. Can I tell you something interesting? When I learned how to scream properly,
Actually, actors and stuff, it's probably a big thing, breathing
yeah,
with acting.
they did. So this is the funny thing. So when I was obviously in hardcore bands before I did my acting studies, we were taught there was a 2 DVDs by I can't remember his name. Fuck. She's but it's called The Zen of Screaming Part 1 and 2, two different DVDs. And this woman teaches you how to scream. She was an ex-opera singer, and she like all famous like metal screamers like use her. And so they teach you like the rah, like that's horrible, but the fry scream and like the lows and shit and like the
melodic screams. Yeah, I love that.
So I was a young dude and I learned how to breathe through the diaphragm. So when normal people breathe, they go, they lift
Shoulders,
the shoulders.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm a. So
Into the
I
tummy.
expand the rib cage, and yeah. So I had all this knowledge, and then when I learned how to study acting, they were like, breathe through your diaphragm, and like I was like, I wouldn't say the head of the class, the top of the class, but like whenever we had like, all right, we have an exam for breathing. You guys need to be able to.
Do they do that?
Yeah, yeah.
Exam for breathing.
Yeah, we went hard, dude.
Nice.
Like my theater was like my screen and stage was like, you need to be able to like talk with a monotone voice, walk up a box, step down a box without, you know,
keeping Really?
like that. So it was like,
It's that thing.
so we had like a script, and it was like from a movie. It was like, ridiculous is it? How ridiculous is it that you have to complete this commercial and not do a thing? And like, and we had to step up boxes, quickly like get to our body, lie down while we're still talking, and like, so we had to be like, I don't understand. So yeah, like if you're standing right, and you're trying to sit,
Here we go. Here's
when
some
you're trying to
theatre.
sit down, there's a bit of movement and stuff.
Joel's doing it
So
in
you'd
front
ha-
of me. If
you'd
you're
have
not
to-
watching
you
the
would
video,
have to literally lie down, talk slowly, and then lie down, and then keep talking like this as you stand up, without getting that, you know. So it
that's
was-
that's
yeah.
wild.
yeah, dude, we had to do all that shit. So it wasn't a waste of fucking money to go to like get a fucking advanced diploma in acting. Like you had to fucking
I've always wondered about that because when I watch like live shows of really top performers singing, live singing, not lip syncing, but live singing, and they're like doing dance moves and stuff. How are you not like?
yeah, it's the same thing, dude. It's all control. It's all yeah, it's all about that gut.
It's all about the diaphragm breathing.
Yeah. So like anyone, if you're getting into meditation or you just find sometimes when you're exercising that you want to be able to have more oxygen in your lungs, Try expanding your gut. Don't get that shoulder press because that's only putting a little bit of air in your lungs. You want to
Slow breathing is what they say is like the best. Really long exhales like this. He's still going. Extremely long exhales. Slowest.
Yeah. I could have kept going, but I
You could
remember.
do 30-second breath. Like that's a...
Oh, totally. More
That
than
is
that. I could
scary.
do maybe a minute, dude.
Really?
I probably.
Should we try that?
We should, but
Should we try that right now? Are you going to
okay.
try it on the
Yeah,
podcast?
Yeah, do you want to get the recording?
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
get a
remember
timer.
I remember my friend Reese said he had a chick who used to go to our same high school, or maybe a different school, but she was a saxophone player. And apparently, I don't know if this is true, she could fill a plastic bin bag with just her breath.
How much is a plastic bin bag?
You know, like the fucking...
Yeah, but how many liters?
I don't know, but she'd fill it with just...
Because you know those free divers,
Yeah.
apparently some of them can hold like 14 liters and the average human man is like 7.
They'll just go down there and kick off and go deeper and deeper. Imagine if one of those dudes just had a random panic attack. You're fucked. All
I'm
right,
going to time you.
So am I breathing out?
Breathing out. I'm 1
right.
minute breath out. You reckon you can do that?
We'll see. We'll try it. If I pass out, what's good?
If I pass out,
Show the
we'll
show the
finish it.
camera. Yeah. All
Yeah.
right. Ready?
Wait. Yeah. I'm going to show the timer to the camera for everyone. I can't hear the out breath though. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. You don't have to make noise. I'm watching and witnessing. It's still happening. There's no additional in breaths. So I think a 30-second breath is apparently quite difficult. So you are at 25 seconds. Thumbs up or thumbs down? How are you going? Thumbs up? Oh, medium thumb. 30-second breath. He's still going. Thumbs going down. 40 seconds. Yeah, you're out. You're out of here.
19 seconds.
That is good. 19 seconds
I
to
want
go,
you to
that
try
is.
it
So
now.
you've done 41 seconds.
Yeah, I want you to try now.
No.
So no. Try it. Come on.
All right,
So
I'll try it.
hold on. Take about 5 minutes. Fill your whole diaphragm so that see what that feels like. And all you're doing is just
But you're releasing extremely slowly, right? That's all you got to
you
do.
can release as slow as you want. But after a while, you start to get a bit anxious. So you want to
Get it out.
So
This is the whole thing. This whole book is about like how our bodies don't need more oxygen, they need more carbon dioxide. And because when you hyperventilate, it's actually like a malfunction of the body because your body thinks it's not getting enough oxygen, so it's trying to intake more air. But the more oxygen goes in, the way it was explained is like oxygen can only be carried by X amount of blood cells as they pass through. So if you breathe really fast, like you're hyperventilating, all that oxygen is just going back out. And your body oxygen intake is actually staying the same almost.
it's not helping at all.
So really, you just need to mentally calm down and just go.
Is
and
that
take
why?
slow breaths through the nose, and that will give you. It would actually give you more oxygen to use, and then turn into carbon dioxide and breathe out carbon dioxide.
Because I actually feel very calm right now, and it's not just
There you
like
go.
too much, But do you remember when people? I used to see it a lot in primary school. They'd get the brown paper bag.
But that works,
yeah, because
because
you're
you're
not
breathing
letting
the
out-
carbon dioxide back in,
yeah.
not the oxygen.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%
Why don't
works.
people do that anymore? Because it was a great way of people And another thing, I remember reading when people have heart attacks. I remember reading this thing. It was like, hold on, let me find it. It's very interesting. So,
You got to commentate on this though. Ready? I'm about to do it. I'm about to do
not
it.
Yet, not yet. No, not yet. Just breathe. If you focus on it, you're fucked.
This will be the last challenge though. This is the last challenge of the podcast, and then we're done. So
Totally.
this is me doing my out breath, and if I die, it's done anyways.
You'll be fine.
I won't die, but
I've lost this thing, but it was basically saying if you're ever having a heart attack, all you need to do is just continue to cough. Keep coughing just for 2 minutes straight. And coughing
wakes up
actually,
your heart.
compresses.
compresses.
Yeah, massages the heart so it gets back to its
If
regular
you
rhythm.
consciously remember to do that.
Yeah. All right. Ready?
Oh wait, I just burped, so that fucked it up.
All right. So just talk. Listen to me talk. Don't focus on your breathing. Just look at me. Don't focus on your breathing. So I have an idea that I want to bring to TikToks as well. Focus on me. Don't focus on your breathing. Focus on what I'm saying. I like the idea of like a learned bogan or a learned Darrow. I don't really like the word bogan. I prefer Darrow because a bogan's someone you can like, but a Darrow is despicable. I'd like to get a Darrow who's like, so a guy approaches him, he's like, "Oi, Mundungus, you're a fucking piece of shit." He's like, "Yeah? I bet you don't even know where shit came from. Shit came from the sewage pipes of Russia with a da-da-da, you know." Russia? That's wrong. Fuck you. You're not going to beat me, you piece of shit. 12 seconds. Well done.
12 seconds ago, so that's 48. That was scary. Like, you start panicking at like 35.
Yeah.
But I was restricting it with my lips. Like, it was I was letting very small holes. So
Steam pipe Willy.
Is that how you do it? I don't know.
Yeah, however you want, but it feels nice to expand the lungs. And right now, you just feel very calm, right?
Yeah. Like, I've done the Wim Hof a fair few times. You know how you do the 30 breaths, deep breaths in and out, and then you hold on the out breath? And I got it to like, I think 2.5 minutes or something of holding on an out breath.
Wow.
And you feel like lightheaded, and then you suck in a big breath after the time that you can hold it. And then you hold that for 15 seconds. And it's almost like everything's just like, it's almost like having a nang, basically.
Damn.
You just for 15 seconds. And then you do like 3 or 4 rounds, and it gets more potent with every round. You should try it. The guided breathing.
Did you ever see the original?
You guys should try it.
Did you ever see the original Total Recall with Arnie?
No.
There's an 80s film. Dude, sick.
Screw you, Benny.
But there's a part where like, so they're on Mars, right? Mars is like a holiday destination, but it's a bit like Sin City-esque.
Future Elon.
Yeah, and there's some people on Mars who are like obviously mutated by the radiation and shit of the planet or whatever. So one dude's got this thing, it's called Guido, and it's like this dude's like a normal guy, and he opens his shit, and he's got this like mutated like half torso baby thing. It's like it's super intelligent. It's like, "Quid, start the reactor." But it's like 80s, so it's really bad, like almost like robotic.
They've just
Do you know
literally
the eyes
built
are
like a
the eyes are like-
rubber thing on his gut and filmed it. Yeah.
Pretty much. I could show you and be like, "That's fucking rubber."
Yeah.
One dude's like a fucking half Cyclops kind of thing, and this one chick has 3 tits. 1, 2, and then like a big fake.
Oh, I have. I've
3
seen
tits.
clips, obviously. Yeah.
But on the end, there's this
It's
dude.
just parodies.
Yeah. There's this dude called Cohagen. He's like the bad guy of it. And so Arnold Schwarzenegger's trying to stop the guy, and like before he can like kill him in the big fight, the epic fight, and the things are going off everywhere, this alien artifact's going off. He turns off the oxygen intake for like the small town, like where the bars and the main bistro is. So all these people who are like freedom fighters working with Arnie are like slowly running out of oxygen.
No.
And like the
Suffocating.
scene, so while Arnie's fighting, they're slowly, and then before Arnie turns on this alien artifact that brings oxygen, uses a machine to get oxygen where Mars obviously doesn't have oxygen. All of them are like half like passed out, just like. And I think about that all the time. Would they just be like try this, just go, let all the air out of your lungs, and then go. Try to take in an air like that, like a. Try to.
But you'd be breathing in.
That'd be
there would
so
be air,
horrible.
but there would be no oxygen, so you'd just be all lightheaded.
You'd be like, it'd be horrible. And I think about how they must have suffered, like,
Well, I think about
it's and being in space.
no, but think about like that's what he does in Deadpool
Exactly.
to
When
cause
he's
the
in-
mutation.
I think of that too. When he's in the
Yes.
tube, it's like
I'm
breath.
like,
no
that
breath.
would be the worst.
And that dude, dude, when I think about Total Recall, I think about that same fucking scene.
All right.
Oxygen rules.
Rules. We're gonna wrap it up. Everybody, try a 30-second out breath.
Totally.
You can do it.
So you want to try to imagine the airs. If you've never really breathed through your chest before, try to expand your lungs while you're breathing. So you're going to put your hands on the sides where your ribs are, and you can literally feel your ribs expanding.
And just poke your gut out as you breathe in.
Yep. So it's all gut.
Forwards and sideways. No upwards shoulder movement.
Exactly. Have fun, guys.
Thank you,
Thanks for
everybody.
listening.